Let's get started.
Intro scene. Boom.
Intro scene.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a streaming soon scene as well. And then
that would be
thanks
nice.
for watching
Yeah.
scene, and then we could just go live and
Yeah, you want me to Photoshop those? I have a day off on Monday, so I have a bunch of time.
that'd be cool.
We've just been talking over the intro, but it'll do.
Yeah.
Does the black screen happen automatically?
Yeah, once it's done, it just goes black.
Like on purpose?
Because it's still within the scene, so the movie plays, which was the intro.
Oh.
And
Wait,
then then I have to hit the scene.
Oh, so that's not a file issue where I
No.
messed up where I just sent you the intro with like 20 minutes of black screen.
No,
after it.
I think it just plays through it. I think there's a way to loop it too, but it plays it once, then it's just black screen.
So,
and then we show up
So
when
you
I do
can't
that.
set it up to go to, you know what? We'll figure out the technical difficulties later. Bros and brolettes.
Vikings and Valkyries,
Welcome to Iron Theory.
a podcast about fitness, life, and everything in between.
I'm Arthur.
I'm Chris. Yes, we are back. Public service announcement again. Currently also on SoundCloud. So if you just happen to be on SoundCloud, we are also on SoundCloud now. So that's just another avenue we took. Be sure to follow us on Twitch, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on every single social media platform. I believe we have a Twitter and a YouTube. Follow, share, please.
Follow me in real life. I'd be really entertained to see how long you can follow me without me noticing.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a stalker.
That'd be entertaining. That'd be a
Wouldn't
podcast episode on its own.
A whole like how a podcast got me a stalker.
Yeah, I think that'd be entertaining. ...
I asked for it? ?
Exactly. I think that'd be very entertaining. So,
We know. Was that too loud? We know that being fit makes you strong, right? So you get to be strong in the gym, you get a good workout in, but whatever. Today's episode is not about being at the gym. It's what being fit, whatever your definition of that might be,
yes,
can do for you outside of the gym. What are the other life benefits that are not directly related to how you do at the gym?
I'm going to sit tall.
I
Because
will sit short.
my posture is so good because of the gym. See? Like, just being here, me sitting right here is further proof that fitness can be
I don't know,
translated
as a
to
man who
everyday life.
deadlifts, my general body has been scrunched into a slight forward lean. My upper back.
What are your deadlifts looking like?
My upper back is a little bit like a dog taking a shit. It's
The letter
just-
of the
it's just
day
ready
is
to-
C.
C.
My
No.
T-spine is curved.
My T-spine.
Yeah, but I feel like this is a very relatable topic to honestly anybody who happens to listen to this specific episode, because there's so much stuff that we kind of overlook in a day-to-day kind of a thing where you don't think about it because a lot of people just go through the motions and try to they're not thinking about it. Like you're picking something off the floor. You're not consciously, oh, I'm about to pick this object up. You just do it, right? But
Yeah.
I think this episode is going to kind of highlight those things we kind of take for granted, you know?
Yes, as individuals of musculature, of hypertrophic culture, one could say. There are some benefits that we gain from the gym that are by other individuals of the gym perhaps taken for granted.
Yeah.
What's your favorite out of gym benefit of being like reasonably fit, being reasonably strong? What is one of your favorites? What you know what I'm asking?
Yeah.
I can't talk right now.
Yeah.
Which sucks as a podcast.
Groceries. I don't know what to talk about, so we're just gonna. But yeah, groceries. I think that's such a thing where I don't have to go to the damn car twice or thrice, but once because I will make it work. I will put those bags around my wrist. I'm going to have that shit turn purple, but I'm not taking a second trip because I'm going to do that shit like a farmer's carry, man.
But also, it's like, but we don't necessarily struggle to do a one trip.
Yeah, and I think even that's shit. I don't care what that shit weighs. I don't care if there's like 2 50-pound turkeys in there. I'm going to make that shit work, and it's going to be lightweight, baby. Yeah.
Where the hell did you find a 50-pound turkey?
I don't... I'm just making numbers up.
I've never seen one go above 30. Like, what store do you shop at that you find not one but 2 morbidly obese turkeys?
Roided up turkeys. They were
turkeys.
giving these turkeys Dianabol, Trenbolone, Anavar.
Definitively fake natty turkeys.
Fake natty turkeys. They were just so jacked. Yeah, but, I mean, that's exact, like, groceries... That's one of those things where I'm like, man, I could just take this one trip, and I'll play like Tetris. I'll stack that stuff. I'm like, engage my core. I'm gonna walk up those steps like nobody's business, you know. And shit, that's just one, but there's many. How about you?
For me, it's the utility to move things whenever I find it necessary, like at whim. Like if I do not like where my couch is, I can just freely do whatever I want with it. Now, sometimes that
moving.
Moving. Sometimes that gets abused, like when your friend is moving and they need a couch moved. But I'm like, I don't care, dude. Like, I understand my purpose in this society.
I
like,
have a strong friend.
I will move a thing for you.
Yeah.
It's freeing, actually. Like, you do not need help to do most things anymore.
I got it. You sure? Yep, I got it.
And it's not even like an egotistical, oh, I got it. Like, oh, I'm going to hurt myself. Like, no. Legitimately, it's fine. I got it. Don't worry about it. It's good. It's good.
I mean, that's a relevant thing because moving is a process. Like that's, I mean, you're literally lifting shit and you're moving it and you're lifting it and putting it somewhere else. Like that's moving, right?
That's our entire life. We trained for this moment.
Yeah,
we trained for that.
And you just getting it up into that truck, you know, loading it up, all these awkward objects from desk to tables and just random ass shit. I mean, that was me in April. I mean, you had to move some shit too.
Yeah, we all had to move.
Yeah, we all moved.
At one point, Chris and I lived together in a group. We had a nice place and everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we might as well just go over like feats of strength that happened just for fun. I remember this one time, it was the winter. We live in Chicago. So when winter comes, it comes a-roaring sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris's fiance, her car got stuck. Like she couldn't leave the parking spot. And just like all the whatever. So we come out and we help it and we're pushing and it doesn't move when we push it. So we figured the only
front-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only alternative to pushing it was just like, let's just pick it up.
Let's push it up.
So we deadlifted
you push
her car.
It up. We just hinged at the hip.
Hinged it and
then
pushed it up. There you go. Yep.
And then just kind of got it off the curb. It was stuck. And
it was one of my favorite moments ever. Like I remember we were cheering. The dude who lived upstairs was like looking out the window like, what the fuck are they doing? I'm like, we just lifted the car. Like that's what we're celebrating.
We lifted that shit.
It was like one of my top 5 favorite moments living there ever. It was amazing.
I mean, even like laundry and shit. Like just stuff like that becomes increasingly easy. But I mean, and just some of the stuff you can also avoid, I feel. Being fit, going to the gym, having a routine, perfect technique, increasing muscle strength in those areas that you need strength in your core and in your hips and all these things in your legs. So stuff that you can avoid, injuries, right? How many people injure themselves, especially now, you know, with there's ice and all this other stuff, you know, they lack any stabilization or, you know, it becomes increasingly difficult and it's very common for people to injure themselves by falling or, you know, or picking something up, like deadlifting something, right? So I feel like incorporating, you know, some kind of routine that will allow them to strengthen those areas is so beneficial because then, less injury. I think that's important.
Yeah. We've talked about the strength benefits, and I feel like that's obvious, right? But I want to. I have a weird, interesting look into the world because I went from being hella unfit to being pretty damn fit.
Yeah.
And there are some remarkable differences in things that I've noticed. Number one, we're both pretty big into the music scene. We like going to shows. And when I was unfit, and when I say unfit, I mean like 300 pounds, seeing a show, don't get me wrong, it was great, but it was an event physically. Like, to be standing for any longer than 40 minutes was a nightmare. Like, getting to a show early just meant you would have to suffer for standing an extra hour longer. And that was rough. So when you're reasonably fit, things you do for fun, like going to a show, it means that you actually get to enjoy the show. You get to bounce around, jump around, swing around, stand around, walk around. Nobody really, doesn't matter because you're not going to be sore. Like, you have reasonable strength, you have reasonable endurance. You get to enjoy things without the thought of like, holy shit, I'm in pain right now, like infiltrating your head the entire time.
So would you say when you were that size, was that something that then I guess stuff like that was like day to day was a bit more conscious, like you were actively conscious about certain things you would do?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it just little things that they're all in your head that nobody gives a shit about, but it's in your head. For example, like if I had to do a flight of stairs and I was out of breath out of the flight of stairs, the thought in my head was all like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed that people around me think I'm insane. Like little things mentally that happen when you're unfit and out of shape. It's just like, holy shit, I can't imagine what the people around me think.
I feel like, I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. Anybody who, is currently, morbidly obese or is having trouble, with stuff that we just mentioned, I would say let this podcast be your calling card to, just change your life around because you can do it, Yep. Go and just get into the gym, just start slow, start somewhere, but make it now, right? Do it now. I would say do it. But even on the other side of the spectrum where somebody would see somebody who's maybe, scrawny or just very, frail, not a lot of strength, a smaller guy, how many times do people like that get picked on as well?
Yeah.
In school. Do you see any of this stuff in school? You see a lot of bullying for physical appearance? You deal with any of that? If that's something you can talk about. I mean, as long as you don't.
I just can't be specific.
Yeah, of course.
Does it happen? Yes. And here's where it gets weird. Kids are less likely to bully you for like physical things right now.
I think. Go ahead.
It's not like that. Or if it is, I don't see much of it. Number one, a student would have to be really bold to try to start shit in my class. So we'll start with that.
Okay.
I am not. It's rare that you'll find a kid who is willing to like fuck shit up in front of me because they know, number one, I ain't gonna take shit. Number one, I am not the teacher you mess with. I have no problem putting you in your place. Number one. Number two, they have some sort of respect because I am physically, like one time somebody I remember one time, oh my God, this must have been my second year teaching, and a student
we got the
once
scoop.
alluded to a comment
Hi.
about like wanting to have a fight with another student. I'm like, you start shit in my classroom, I will fling you across the room and through the wall.
See, and you probably have the power to do that, don't you?
Well, number one, I did. This kid was maybe like 150 pounds. Like, fuck it, that's a warm-up weight. I'll fling you through the window. And they looked at me, and they knew, like, oh, no, wait, he actually probably would do that.
It was pretty, for
like,
sure.
It's not an empty threat. I would never hurt one of my students, but if you start shit, I will throw you under the bus to protect a weaker kid. Like, come on.
Yeah, and I that's just one of those things I feel. Yeah, this is pretty common in the school scene, or especially in high school more specifically. There's a lot of drama that usually happens for whatever reason, hormones and shit.
But now that you mention it, it is a fair point. There is a benefit to being fit in high school. Outside of, I don't mean just the bullying thing, but in terms of how much fun you get to have, right? Being part of a sports team.
Oh, yeah.
Being good as part of the team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, every team has that one kid who got on the team because his dad forced him to. He's not really into it, and he's not really fit, and nobody really wants him on the team. But being reasonably fit and being part of the team and being like a contributing member of a squad feels pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like if you like a lot of, I know the football teams will train in the gym and they'll probably do deadlifts and squats and stuff like that. They'll start learning that kind of stuff so they can strengthen their legs for football. Yeah. So I mean, there's just a lot of benefit that in itself just to be better at a sport in high school or whatever. So that'll bring confidence up, and then that's another thing about fitness for a lot of people. It's going to bring people's confidence up, whether it's changing physically or just being stronger, whatever it is. It's going to mentally and I think that's maybe where we can kind of take it now is like, besides the physical part, the mental part of being fit, what does that do on the outside of the gym for us? So confidence, right? That's one.
Oh yeah. It's a little bit more than just confidence. It builds a certain pattern. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without making it sound too negative. Fitness, especially the way you and I do it, it really does become incorporated as part of your lifestyle.
Yep.
Like it's not an afterthought. It is something you schedule. It is something you plan around. And it brings structure to your day. Like, that there's a window for this, there's a window for this, there's a window for this, and then there's the gym. And I don't want to say you build around the gym because that's a little obsessive, but you
almost though. At least for me, I would say, I definitely would build it. I build my schedule around my gym time actually. So finding finding the time in my schedule and just scheduling people in a way where I can give myself that hour or two to train myself is important. So I'll give myself that window. So I'll go for 3-4 clients early morning, and then I'll train around like afternoon-ish, and then, train a few more people after that. Yeah. And that's just kind of how I do it. So for me, it's, almost pretty literal.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because, your job is in the gym, right? Like, so that makes sense. For me, my job is not at the gym.
Yeah.
But it does give me structure. It gives me this ability to say, on these days, this is what I'm doing, and everything else kind of falls into place around that. If somebody says, like, hey, are you busy? Like, yeah, I am. Like, people know. You don't cut into my gym time.
Yeah.
It does. Like, I have full-on turned-down dates because, like, no, I can't do Wednesday. Sorry.
Listen.
That's squat day.
I got a date with a barbell. Yup.
Yeah. So it's just one of those, and that structure gives you benefits, right? You have a pattern, you have a schedule, you have a structure. It sort of brings some confidence into your day, right? You have a place to be, you have a thing to do. Your brain isn't idle.
It's something that I get to look forward to, even if I have nothing to do else in that day. The fact that I have the gym or a workout to look forward to gives me that purpose, I feel. Yeah. Like, if nothing else, there is that training session I have, right? So I think that is just really, really powerful. Because sometimes, like, especially during quarantine, that was just a trying still is a trying time for a lot of people, but just that specific 5-6 months where, there was no gym for me. No weights, nothing. Just trying to make it work, and then just seeing, how much I benefited from that. Because once that started being away, I was just trying every little avenue to just try to stay on top of it. So yeah.
Aside from just structure, and I know that this is almost a trope. It's almost overstated. but the discipline that you develop, the discipline required to, well, you can be reasonably fit without really putting too much emphasis on discipline, but to be like legitimately actually strong or fast or whatever type of sport you train for, it takes dedication, it takes discipline, it takes perseverance. And I know, oh God, it's almost a meme, right? It's almost a meme. Like I'm cringing just hearing myself say, but it builds discipline. But it does.
It does,
and that
though.
carries over. You know that things take work. You know that things take time.
Right. It's I mean, it's just like learning an instrument, right? Or any other kind of thing that takes a certain amount of time and practice and just really grinding it out. You don't see the results until you just keep kind of doing it, practicing a scale or something like that. And then, writing the music out. Similarly, training for a certain schedule and then, just reaping the benefits over time, checking your weight and your girth and circumference and all that to see if anything's happening for you. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of benefit in that, the discipline specifically, because it does carry over to everything else. Yeah. So, I would also say, besides discipline, shit, I lost my thought. I lost my train of thought. I mean, you have discipline. Man, I'm blanking right now, dude. I'm blanking.
In which case, let me go through it.
Yeah.
There is this weird. Let's stick with the mental benefits then, with the non-tangible sort of benefits of being fit. We talked earlier in the year about like setting goals and reaching goals and making sure they're achievable and all that. Being fit gives you access to a certain set of goals that would otherwise not be available. It's hard to explain what I mean, right? Like, a lot of people have goals, right? Oh, I want to do this. Maybe I'll run a 5K. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
Once you achieve a certain like baseline level of fitness, your goals become very well defined, very achievable, and just the ability to set a goal that seems difficult, something like, oh, I'm going to deadlift 500 pounds, or oh, I'm going to bench 315, or something like that. Those numbers sound astronomical to somebody who's like not in the fitness world, but then to us, it's all like, yeah, no, you can totally do that, and it gives you a goal, something to work forward to, and it just feels good mentally to know that I can set a goal that's relatively high, and it's achievable, and it's doable for me.
Yeah, and I mean, just as far as, setting those goals specifically, for myself, just checking, I'll give myself every month, I'll check, just to see kind of where I'm at, whether weight, body fat, all those things. But just like you said, it's something that kind of keeps me on my toes. And I remember what I was gonna say. So with the quarantine bit, how health is a very big priority now. So just kind of keeping, your immune system and, everything kind of firing, you're just benefiting from just staying active. I think that's such a big thing now, so however you're going to do it, whether you're going on a walk, daily, even if you're just doing that, the most basic thing, just doing a walk, and you're doing that every single day, and you're just making the effort of just staying active, getting your heart rate up, all these things, being conscious with your food, it can benefit you, in that sense, especially now,
And you honestly do feel better for it. Your brain, you have to, evolutionarily speaking, dear God, I'm going to go full science mode on you.
Do it.
There is a reason you feel good after a workout. Okay? There is a reason that happens. You have dopamine release. Your body, evolutionarily speaking, is adapted. We are not outside of our animal, we're not outside of our, animal evolutionary fucking monkey brain yet.
Yeah.
You benefit from certain things that, our evolutionary ancestors would have benefited from. Doing a workout releases dopamine. There is so much research that says that being exercising consistently, it helps reduce the symptoms of anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
It does so much for you at a chemical level. It's not like, oh, I feel better. Like, no, you actually have dopamine and serotonin reuptake that is improved as a result of exercising. And it's as simple as just taking a walk.
And honestly, that's a good point that you bring that up with the anxiety and depression and that stuff, because that shit's been skyrocketing lately for people because of this whole pandemic. So just having the benefit, and I guess that's another reason. Like if somebody hasn't worked out yet up until this point in their life, if there was any reason for that, just try to pick up, some kind of activity like walking or something that's going to make you move, because you will feel better over time. So it's very beneficial in that sense.
A quick asterisk so I don't get misconstrued. It's not a cure, right?
No.
It's part of it's healthy exercise, and a good diet is part of a lifestyle that can help alleviate the symptoms of anxiety and depression if it's actually diagnosed. That is a actual chemical imbalance that occurs. Healthy diet and exercise can either alleviate some of those symptoms or reduce the frequency of episodes, but it is not a cure. It is only one part of a healthy way to live and deal with those particular disorders. So before, to avoid being misconstrued as like, oh my God, exercise doesn't cure depression. I'm like, yes, we recognize that. But complemented with therapy, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and then, of course, if a psychiatrist feels like it would be beneficial to you, prescription medicine, all that works together. So that's my asterisk for that.
Yeah. And just maybe a few examples. So, there's days where it's just like, I feel rushed, and I'll get up and I feel frustrated, or I forget to do something, and I have a bunch of shit on my mind. But the second I go into the gym, after I go through my workout, and there's a certain aggression to the workout, right? So you kind of let all those feelings into your sets and reps, and you do feel a lot better. So that, that endorphin release that I feel always makes me feel better. And the rest of the day is like pretty awesome, so. Yeah. Love it.
It's zen. It's restorative. It's meditative, and even then, like, how do you go to the gym when you're lazy? I'm like, the hardest part is just getting there. Like, once you're at the gym, you're like, okay, I'm actually gonna do the work.
Yeah.
And there are good workouts and there are bad workouts. We've all had that, but like, if you're feeling bad, sometimes all you need to do is just like go to the gym, and once you're there, your body's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we know exactly what's happening right now.
Yep.
Like, your muscles are fired up, your adrenaline goes up. You walk into the gym, like you've literally like Pavlov's dog, your body into like, oh, I know what this stimuli means, and you start getting that adrenaline release, and you're ready to go. You've had that happen to you before, right? Where everything sucks, but then you get to the gym and you're like, okay, I know what's going on now. And then you feel so much better once your workout's done.
All the time. Yeah. I feel like it's just a very common thing that I'll experience, every so often, and once I'm in there, I'm ready to go. I feel better. I just forget about whatever it might have been. And then my mind is clearer, because sometimes it's just very, messed up. There's just a lot of shit going on. So once I get that energy out of my system, everything feels clear, at least. So I'm like, okay, breathe, right? It's a good experience.
So let's go back to some of the physical benefits, because I feel like those are a little bit easier.
Sitting in a car for 8-9 hours driving, I would say that gets a little easier, at least for me. Because I remember, like, a while back, I forget where I was driving. It might have even been to, like, Wisconsin or something, like a bunch of years ago. And, just always adjusting myself, always kind of moving around. It was very uncomfortable. But recently when I drove to Missouri to pick up my second dog, sitting in the driver's seat I lasted for a while, and I wasn't uncomfortable. Not as uncomfortable as I was, before I started strengthening those areas, my core, and just kind of my overall posture. So, huge benefit there, I would say, just sitting, and not feeling lower back pain.
Yeah, and I'll continue with that. Maybe not quite the same, but speaking of going places and driving for a long time, um, being fit means that you get to go on trips and enjoy like nature, hiking, kayaking, whatever, at a whim whenever you want, right?
Hmm?
It's not streaming.
What? Oh, it's not? You sure?
Not on Facebook.
Oh. Well, it did blink a few times, didn't it?
Oh, Chris didn't set up the Facebook stream correctly.
Well, it did, but then I remember it like
it blinked.
it like blinked for some reason.
Sorry.
Hold on. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's.
Technical difficulties, team. Technical difficulties here.
I'm gonna check Twitch. Let's see.
Is it streaming on Twitch?
Let's find out. Oh shit.
Well, don't hit go live.
Yeah, I know.
We are live. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are streaming. At the very least, we're streaming on Twitch.
Okay.
Oh well, we'll figure it out. Worst case scenario, we'll just upload it as a separate video.
Yeah. No biggie. No biggie.
No biggie.
Yeah.
And it's just like I get like if somebody says like, hey, you want to go to like a state park near us, or hey, you want to do this, or hey, you want to do that. Like, yeah, I'm in. Hey, you want to go skiing? Sure, fuck it, why not? Because you know you can do it. Like to go hiking and just make it up the mountain. You're like, yeah, we made it. Cool.
Even Even like when how many years ago was that when we went to? I mean, I would say even let's say like '09. I mean, because we've been going on a bunch of hikes for years and years and years. And I definitely notice, the more recent hikes that I would have, just my overall conditioning has gotten better. Whereas like before, even for myself, just kind of a soft looking dude back in like early 2010s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like now I feel I don't get tired as easily. I would say for these long treks, and I definitely noticed that.
Yeah, you get to see more. You actually get to enjoy it, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love nature, but there were some hikes that I went on when I was unfit that was just like, okay, this legitimately actually sucks. I'm sweating. It hurts. I don't want to do it anymore. Which is unfortunate because I love being out in nature. But now it's all like, yeah, cool. Here. What's the tallest mountain on the list? Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just go up that shit and then take a wrong turn and
Go off trail, get lost, try to follow a river. Turns out there are two rivers, end up going off trail, falling down into the river.
This never happened.
The water's like 40 degrees, so we finished the hike in my underwear. Yeah, that totally never happened. That was a story that never happened to us in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee on a spring hike. Yeah, that never happened.
Yeah.
that
shit. Yeah, definitely. That was fun. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
February, maybe.
I'm doing it in March.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, March now? I thought it was February.
No, my spring break's in March.
Oh.
I'm going. I'm definitely going. As soon as I get the vaccine, we're going out.
Yeah, vaccinated. Yeah. So I mean, just those physical activities, like hell, like laser tag or whatever, like little physical activity you go out and with your friends, going to a club and standing, even for fuck's sake, just
Going
like
ice skating.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know how to ice skate, screw it. I got balance. I got core strength, and I got balance. Like fuck it. I don't care. I don't know how to skate, but I'll figure it out.
Props to those like athletes in general, because they have to essentially apply a lot of that strength they gain, because I'm sure every single athlete, no matter what specific sport they do, they're doing some kind of drills or training or something to strengthen their specific craft, their specific sport, right? Whether like figure skating, I'm sure they're doing some kind of drills or some kind of training to strengthen their core and their flexibility and mobility and stuff like that, you know, using yoga. So there's just a lot of application there to the sport, right? But of course, everyday life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things. If you're reasonably fit and like, I don't know, your office wants to start a softball league, like all you need to do is actually learn how to swing the bat because you already have the musculature to hit it pretty fucking hard, right? So all you really need to do is learn the technique, and your actual natural like rear delt flies will carry over.
Let's bring up the office scene, because I have a lot of clients who are, desk jockeys, so to speak, right? They're sitting for 8, 9, 10 hours, 12 hours sometimes, getting up every so often, uncomfortable. But I'll when we're just chatting between sets, resting, they'll bring up that, oh, it gets a little better, right? It's a lot easier to do my job sitting, being in this, sedentary kind of setting than it was before they started to work out. And then usually that's pretty noticeable for them in the next like 2 months or so when they start training with me. So, I mean, that just proves everything we've just kind of been talking about, how fitness kind of translates into these, 9 to 5s, right? So just big benefits there. Big, huge, magnificent benefits.
Magnificent.
Yes, magnificent.
Is there anything else left? Is there anything else we want to? How does the gym train? Oh, you know what? The unintended, the negative consequences of being fit. There's a couple. I will. So let's talk about.
Let me see what
the
you mean.
Unintended, like let's call it collateral of being fit.
Yeah.
One that not as much now, but when I was fat and I lost all the weight, you have to buy new clothes like every 20 pounds.
That's good point.
So that was the thing. Like, okay, that's an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's an expensive change, right? Because you have an entire wardrobe that is now literally 2 times bigger than what you
you can fit yourself in this.
That's a problem. Yeah, I went from like a oh my god, I think at my biggest I was a 58-inch waist down to like 30 something. So like,
well, that's amazing.
I lost a human.
Yeah,
so
whole human.
You need a wardrobe change.
Yeah,
after that.
That's I'm glad you brought that up, because I mean that's just another common thing I'll always hear is, when people start to lose weight, they're like, oh, I got to change my whole wardrobe now. Like this stuff doesn't fit anymore. It's too loose or whatever it is. Or if they start backtracking, oh, this shit's getting tight again, right? But, like that's just a real life indication. It's like, okay, I need to go to the gym, or I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm just going to keep benefiting from that,
And that does work in the other direction, too. Like, if you're actually gaining muscle, like my training partner, she's
jacked.
like, she actually tore something because, like, her shoulder just got, shit.
She got them broad shoulders now.
Don't fit anymore, but that's for the other direction, right? You're actually gaining muscle rather than just
too
losing
jacked.
Your tub of lard there.
Too jacked.
Yeah, too jacked. What's your number one problem? I still fit through doors.
Exactly.
What is do you have a negative consequence collateral that sometimes occurs to you? Because I got one more.
I'm trying to think. Go ahead. Let me simmer on this a little bit.
I accidentally break things a lot.
Oh.
Glasses, cups, scissors, lemon squeezers, doors.
Yeah,
I will accidentally break things.
I feel like I don't know my own strength, because like Arlene will be like, oh, you give me a massage. I'm like, sure, and then I think I'm just doing it like normally. She's like, fuck, it hurts. Grip strength. Too hard,
Yeah, like especially if you're trying, like you're twisting something and you're going like like this needs to be tight, right? And you do that extra turn and like the wood cracks and you're like, oh well, shit.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of stuff like that. Exactly, like stuff that I have to like close, or I'll just kind of do a little too forcefully, and I might make a crack in the wood or something.
Yeah, things legitimately accidentally just break on us now. Like, I
think it's kind of cool,
that was
though.
too much. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is a source of pride.
Yeah.
Like when I broke a cast iron lemon squeezer, just like shat, I'm like, oh well, okay. I guess that's my problem now.
Bending bars here.
Just no problem.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I think it's time for an update on the local news. Don't you think so?
I think so. Let's hit it.
They look like somebody who would like try to call you out for being a fake natty. Like you a fake natty. Like I see them doing it. I imagine they're like British too. I don't know why. Like
Hey,
I
you
imagine
cheeky
that,
coon.
I
You
imagine that
cheeky
they're.
coon.
I imagine no, seriously, like they're like Liverpool like fake wannabe, you know. Okay, go for it.
Here we are. Should I do it with a fake British accent? No.
Nah.
No, I didn't practice that way.
Yeah.
Welcome to another installment of Fake Natty News Network. I am Max E. Pad.
And I am Harry Cox. Here are your top headlines for the week. It has been 2 weeks since the resolutioners began coming into gyms attempting to improve their lives in 2021. By now, veteran gym goers expect to see these numbers dwindling, but 2021 seems to be the year of perseverance. Many gyms have strict maximum occupancy rules as a result of the coronavirus, which has led to tensions all over the country. In severe protest of these regulations, many misguided Americans attempted to gain entry to the Senate Staff Exercise Facility.
Tracing that 5 times fast.
That was really difficult. I'm going to try that again. Many misguided Americans attempted to gain entry to the Senate Staff Exercise Facility located in room 418 of the Dirksen Senate Office Building in the nation's capital. Many claim these rioters were incited by the president. You see, in an earlier speech, the president said that they would all walk to the congressional building and show strength. Fake Natty News Network does not condone the actions these misguided bros took in an attempt to gain access to a gym.
In other news, local gym elder Ron was surprised to learn that hand dryers are not intended for use on scrotums. Every day, Ron would walk into the gym, walk 1 mile on the treadmill, utilize a few upper body machines, shower, and then would spend at least 15 minutes carefully blow drying his old saggy balls. Ron would then lift his penis and aim it at the blow dryer, peeling his foreskin apart to dry just the tip of his penis. Ron was never ashamed of his actions until a resolutioner was disturbed by this frequent gym occurrence. It was explained to Ron that a quick towel off, while still in the privacy of a shower, is sufficient enough in all scrotal drying circumstances.
That has been Fake Natty News. Harry Cox signing off.